Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good whatever time of day, maybe for you ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Layback Gamer, and we are back with a new series, well, a new run of Rimworld as well. Unfortunately, the last one did not go so well. Unfortunately, we did die in the end. It was a little sad. Honestly, looked back and kind of thought, you know, maybe I could. Maybe I could try to salvage it, but I decided, no, you know what, no. We died in the last one, and there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing that I will do about it. I lost. I can take a loss. Just means that we're going to have to restart. And this time, we're going to be restarting with some new mods added to the scene. Provided this will load in. There we go. So a few of the mods that I took off, I think I had... Oh, I forgot to put Cybernet on. But we're going to have Cybernet added onto this. It's another extension of GlitterNet. But one of the things I took off was the Empire mod. We never really used it at all. Maybe once or twice. I might consider re-adding this on much later down the line. And maybe all the different buildings and titles. But for now, we've just flat out taking it out. I didn't really want it. Megacorp I took out as it's just too similar. I'm gonna have the Exalted Dawn there as well as the Empire, so we're just gonna go without a corporation. Yeah. To me, I don't really want to have another different faction, different flavor of the Empire. I'm okay with the Exiled Dawn because they kind of do some of the similar stuff, and if we ever do get contacted by them, we can decide, hey, you know what, I like you guys, I want to go with you, and maybe start to be a rebel against, you know, the Empire. But at the same time, I've also added in a second Empire faction just as a tester to see, okay, what will happen, because I'm not 100% sure. So we kept the Exiled Dawn in there. I probably can't take it out once I start the new file, but anyways, what's another one that took out? I decided, as fun as it was, we're gonna need to take out Monster Hunter Rimworld. I just haven't seen any updates to the game, and I would really have loved to have seen a couple new monsters added in over time, but for now, we're gonna have it discounted from the gameplay, and it'll also take out a bunch of the items that, you know, could arguably be a little cheesy, I guess. I was tempted to add Preemptive Strike in, but then I decided probably not, since there's another mod that I added in that could possibly that it might not go well with. I do want to put Research Tree back in exchange for Research Pals. So let me quickly scroll down the bottom here. We'll see if we can get this to work. If I hide this, Research Pal, take that out. I also took out Rim Book because to me it didn't really make a whole lot of sense, since we never really used it. Rim Cities, I felt like this was a little too powerful, especially the fact that I could go inside an abandoned city and take all the resources that I want. So we're going to we're going to opt with the I can settle a mining colony, and maybe I might even extend it to having an additional colony up, since we no longer have empires around. And I took, lastly, I think that's last. Oh, we took out turret extensions. Not that I really ever saw any use with this, but we also took out Rimworld, the technology blueprints, as again, it didn't really do what I was wanting it to do, and I just didn't want to play around with it anymore. But in exchange, we added in a few new mods, and if we go to find one of them, you'll notice that I have a Vanilla Factions expanded. You might be wondering, well, what do we have in? Recently, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but Oskar Potocki? I hope I pronounced that right. My apologies to the mod author if I completely butchered that, but we added in we added into the older factions expanded. So medieval, we added in settlers, and the most recent one to come out, insectoid, and it was the whole reason why I was very tempted to restart the series, but we ended up getting it just a natural conclusion. Rimworld said, "Oh, you wanted to restart? Okay, good, go ahead." And this is a massive mod. Like, we'll just go ahead and pull it open on the on here. What does this mod have? It has a new Storyteller, Empress Evil. It has new quest rewards, quite a bit of them here. Some of the highlight ones is the Eraser, which erases everything in a 10. I was going to assume that's a 10 block, like 10 tile from existence, which is incredible. We have pacifiers, which will essentially pacify enemies and allow them to join our colony. We have a shield belt, which honestly isn't quite as good as the shield belts that we have access to, as it can't recharge. Maybe we might be able to recharge it ourselves, but it does have a larger capacity version. We have new plasma weapons. So when Rimworld Royalty was released, it added in some new plasma weaponry, and this takes another extension to that. It adds in quite a few. We have riot gear, and now that we kind of got into some of the other stuff that was added in, we're going to get into the main one, the insectoids, which is the major theme of this. We have a medium-sized mushroom that, when fully mature, its cap spreads to release an inner ball that emits light, a very hard light, bright enough to grow other crops around it, which is very crazy. We can have our own natural light source outside, which is beautiful. We have royal jelly, which is an item that's dropped. This is the only new plant item, but the next few items are all items that get dropped from the various new insects. We have royal jelly, which it's better than normal insect jelly, but if not continuously administered, it can transform the user into the eater into a mega spider, which we may or may not be intentionally doing that, but I say may or may not, as in the may not, but maybe 100% will be. But of course we wouldn't. After all, who wouldn't want to turn their prisoners into massive killing spiders? Oh boy. We have insectoid chitin, new crafting material for armor. We have spider silk, very flammable and has a very high beauty. We have insect milk, insect eggs, a sonic infestation repeller, which those infestation events that we can get, this will prevent that. However, it will anger the insectoid Empress and cause her to send a stronger surface wave against us. If we make her angry enough, well, we'll see some of the events that can spawn from this. We have bioengineering, which will allow us to make our own insects, very similar to the questionable ethics mod, where we can grow our own stuff, where we can grow our own creatures, splice DNA together, which, by the way, we still have that. It fits with the theme of this. Excuse me. So how it works is we have 3 different types of genomes. We have drone, warrior, and royal genome. And each of them can be combined, or you could take, take 3 worker, 3 drone, 3 drone genome, or 3 worker genome, or 3 royal genome, throw them into the vat, and try to make something out of it. And vat-grown creatures have a much weaker lifespan, or much shorter lifespan, as well as they're unable to reproduce. So it might make trying to tame some of the insectoids that can come naturally a little bit more better. I don't know if what we're about to see does occur naturally. I'm going to argue no, but if they don't, then, well, some of them do, and we'll see that in just a second. But we have the boom tick, the mega scarab, the royal larva. If you want, you can pause this and read each of the descriptions. I'm not going to read them, as I could then be sitting here for the next 40 minutes and we will barely got into the game. And we have, of course, the mega spider and the cephalopede. We all know about this. Worker ants, and these are all vat-grown creatures that we can grow in our vat are all vat grown. So some of these aren't new, like Mega Scarab, Mega Spider, and Cephalopede. They're not new, but however, those are the three original. We have a vastly expanded array. We have Worker Ant, we have a Mega Cricket, Caterpillar, which are just look at it. It looks so cute, so very cute. We have the Warling, which is 100% not a rip-off of the Zergling, and what we've named our faction is going to be well. Actually, I might want to rename it. Yeah, I think I'm going to rename it in honor of them. But yeah, we'll rename our faction in game. But I already have a small file created. Essentially, I just picked a terrain, explored around a little bit, like looked around it on pause mode, and we haven't done anything to it. So yeah, this is gonna you'll see. Then we have the Giga Scorpion, the Megapede, the Titan Bee, which I honestly have no idea why this Megapede wasn't in. I mean, we have a Centipede, which is a mechanoid, so you think there would have been a Megapede. But oh well. It's nice to see that we're finally getting one in now. Titan Beetle, Milk Beetle, similar to Muffalo, Giga Wig, Royal Maggot, and Princess. Princess being the highest tier that we can vat grow. We also have Spider Weaver, which produces the spider silk that we saw, Giga Locust, which are absolute flying monsters, and Monstrosities, which is essentially what happens if you fail one of these breeding. And they can either spawn in as hostile. They can spawn in, let's see here, if we go ahead and take a look back at here, spawn in rabid, they can spawn sick, they might come out stillborn, or worse, and the worst probably meaning the monstrosity. The genomes can also be administered to a pawn and will result in a random mutation. And essentially it has different, so I think the insectoid legs, what it says here when it says 60 health increased pain, I think it might add extra health. Either it adds extra health to the body part itself at a cost of increased pain, which for some colonists that are, say, I think it's masochist, that's the term. They just have an adoration for pain. They love pain. This is perfect for them. They'll be happy with these mood boosts. All of them come with an increased pain. Some of them come with a little bit of extra stuff, or extra good, or better. Compound Eye has for instance, has a 50% efficiency. However, increased melee dodge chance. If we come down and read one of these, Antenna Ear, 10 health, increased pain, no longer receives darkness debuff, and makes the pawn ugly. So it makes them ugly, but they no longer receive the darkness debuff. So whenever they're in the dark, which means we can just send a bunch of these guys with these antennas underground. And one of the ones I'm interested in is the Vehicular Sleeve. For the heart, increased pain, pawn can no longer bleed out, but has a random chance of a heart attack. So I think I might have a mod that also nullifies heart attacks. So if it indeed works alongside this, that means that, hey, we can effectively eliminate this negative debuff. And of course, we attach it to a masochist. Again, I'm pretty sure that's the right term there. Essentially, we're only gaining the benefit of they will no longer bleed out, which is very, very nice. And we also have a new faction, the Insectoid Hive, new insects. These insects will not spawn in vanilla infestation events, they will spawn in the new large infestation events. So again, I think these are the only ones that will spawn in addition to the other three, but I'm thinking that maybe the other ones might also spawn in. To me, it would make some sort of sense if, say, like a princess came along and, you know, she's essentially going along and helping out, or maybe, for instance, a Titan Beetle comes along as they're really good. They have a powerful bash attack. Maybe even I would love to see a bunch of warlings come at me. That would be crazy, and I really hope they do that. But now we go on to the insectoids that do come in with these. So that will come in these larger scale attacks. So we have the insectoid queen, and I'll read out a couple of these. A giant genetically engineered insectoid responsible for creating new spawn. A mother to the insects in her hive. A queen doesn't do heavy work and tries to avoid combat if possible. It's as massive as an adult Thrumbo. The queen instills fear in most opponents. Despite being quite slow in open terrain, an insectoid queen is capable of creating new larvae at rapid pace and should never be allowed to settle down. When killed, other insectoids will flee from combat. So essentially, this will help tie into one of the new events that can spawn in. We have insectoid larvae, which this is why I think some of the other ones can spawn in, but I don't know. The juvenile form of an insectoid larva are mostly harmless, slow, and easy to kill. After some time has passed, it'll undergo a metamorphosis, turning into adult insectoid. There's no way to tell what kind of insect will crawl out of its cocoon, and this is the cocoon here. Larval cocoon can develop into any kind of insectoid, even the queen, therefore their destruction should be top priority, which is why I think they can develop into one of these insectoids up here. Obviously, if it develops into a caterpillar, that would be fun. It's like, oh, it's so cute. So cute. We're going to go tame it now. And we've seen the Megapede, the Gigalocust, which have the ability to fly. And I imagine that means they can fly over mountains. They can fly over walls. They essentially eliminate the effectiveness of a kill box or trap zone. And then we have a new version of the Mega Spider, the Royal Mega Spider, which comes along with it primarily goes alongside the Insectoid Queen. It's more of a warrior. And by the way, this mod also is compatible with better infestations. So thought I would point that out. I'm not running better infestations because the queens would the queens in that and the queen here would to me, it theoretically shouldn't mesh together at all. But yeah. Then we have some new raid attacks. They can do an imminent attack. This imminent attack of sappers. They, instead of dropping from drop pods, they can tunnel underground, which kinda gets which is a way for them to get around shield generators because they cannot say deflect. They can't. I think shield generators can deflect incoming drop pods or possibly destroy them, but they can't really do anything that's coming up from underneath. I don't know if these are repelled by what's it called? The sonic infestation repeller. I don't know if they're repelled by that. If that's a way to stop them from coming in. But then we have their form of siege, which is burrows. And because they don't have any artillery, we have to come out and try to deal with these. We have to fill these burrows in, otherwise they won't stop attacking. It's very unlike the mortar drop. Well, mortar drops, they'll continue to drop shells, but they won't drop more people to go in and try to attack you. We have infested meteorites, which will come in and spawn with the hive, name of the insectoid hive. We have a Gigalocust swarm, which is unique for the Gigalocusts. They can spawn in and immediately start going after your... Well, they'll spawn a bunch of insects in with them. We have... Oh, sorry, I was talking about the infested meteorites, but I started with the Gigalocusts. It's unique for them. We have overrun outposts. So now the outposts that they will spawn are overrun with insects. However, there could be some very valuable stuff still contained within these these ruins. We now have infested ships, which I think is a higher tier, similar to like the Psychoid and the all those ship parts that can drop with mechanoids. This one has it for the infected ships. And I believe lastly we have the giant infestation, which is a very rarely occurring thing. However, I think we will definitely see one at some point, providing we don't die early on. Very rarely a giant infestation will occur. It spawns primarily outside of your base and utilizes new large hives to spawn megapedes, royal megaspiders, gigalocusts, and even insectoid queens. It should be dealt with very quickly, as this infestation can get out of your control. And this is the one that these queens will spawn in. I'm curious to see if we manage to down the creature. I think some of the other mods have added in like new psychic weapons, architect weapons that can instantly tame animals. So if I can pick one up and try to see if we can get one of those queens, we can essentially have our own insectoid army at our disposal, which would be pretty cool. Then obviously we have a couple of androids to control them, and we can very much create a Zerg-like army, similar to how the Confederacy in that game did it. So it's pretty cool. Oh, you guys can't actually see. Oh dear, you can't see the Steam page. I just realized that. My apologies. Just my greatest apologies. There we go. Okay, now you guys can see. I am so sorry. I just spent time reading it out. I actually had the page open. I was scrolling through it. But yeah. Now, if you really want to, I would highly recommend pausing and reading each of the different items, or even go to the Steam page yourself. Just go there and check it out. Like, seriously, these guys have done a fantastic job. Like, absolutely fantastic, amazing job. I haven't even started to play with this, and this already looks crazy. And it's not the only crazy thing that we're going to... It also even adds in a new scenario. What is with the battery down here? I don't know. We're not going to play the new scenario, but maybe on a different playthrough. But I'm very excited to play through this and to test it all out. I don't know if I think they may have added in a couple other new mods. Cybernet. No, what needs to be loaded after glitter tech. Oh, sorry, after GlitterNet. Where's GlitterNet? Oh, whoops. Has to go after. I accidentally loaded it before Glitter Tech instead of GlitterNet. There we go. Alright, there we are. And I don't want to add better infestations in. I was tempted to add in alpha biomes. Try to play around with that. Maybe I might still add it in. I want to add in alpha biomes. Oh, you know what? Sure. We'll add in alpha biomes. We'll toss this in as well. Have some fun. So more vanilla biomes. Are they compatible with each other? I'm curious. I wonder. Using that adds new biomes will spawn modded plants based on vanilla. Compatibility with other okay, so it is compatible with it. So I will be right back, and I will explain what we're going to do, how this new series is going to play out differently than the previous one. So we'll be right back once the mods have finished loading in. Alright, now we are here. Funny enough, when I loaded up the when the error log came up, that always does, because lots of conflicts, it actually is smaller. So I think I ended up taking out the mods that I did take out, made it a little more the game a little more compatible. Which some of them I'm not surprised, but a couple of them I'm going, oh, I didn't know that. Interesting. But anyways, here's the new scenario that gets added in by the insectoids. This one gets added in by settlers, and this one gets added in by the medieval. We're, of course, going to kind of stick with the bare basics here with Crashland. Of course, a little bit of modified Crashland. And as you can see, the new Storyteller for the insectoids here, Empress Evil. Empress Evil does not believe in the concept of good. Driven by primal rage and savage instinct, it will force you to constantly be on your toes, throwing harder and harder tasks until you give up and perish. No good events can happen ever. Well, that's a bit of a lot. The only good events that will happen is events that can then lead into bad events. So for instance, last time we had, I believe her name was Kat, join us, and then she turned out to be a spy, which honestly should have been a pretty big tip-off by that point. At that point, and of course we have Maynard Medieval. Maynard likes to tell tales of heroism and hardship, of prosperity and peril. Most factions and all research will be limited to medieval and pre-medieval eras, which would be interesting. And we have Dingo Dyer. Dingo Dyer believes the best stories are violent ones, favoring unfavorable odds and going down in a blaze of glory with exploding buffaloes and drunks. So the gimmick that, and by the artwork here is a little little off here, but you know, it's there, guy. This is definitely really well done. But what we're going to do here is for this new series, we're going to have a bit of a gimmick. So this is episode 0, us kind of getting into the whole series. We're going to have essentially a rant every time, with the exception of this time. I'm going to roll a set of dice. And the number that comes up the most will be the storyteller we pick. So for instance, Cassandra's 1, Phoebe's 2, Randy's 3, Empress is 4, Maynard is 5, and Dingo is 6. And we have 6 different difficulties here that we can pick from. So then we'll roll the dice a second time and see which one of these we get to pick. And this will happen every 5 episodes. Every 5 episodes. So to start, we're going to start with Cassandra Classic, very classic, and a decent way for at least us to get started. And we're going to go the middle of the bunch here. So if we're really unlucky, we could say then end up getting Empress Evil with Losing is Fun. And Dire Masochists. I was right with that. I was right. We could end up with that, or perhaps we end up with Maynard Medieval in a community builder. Each of them has their own different quirks. Obviously, Cassandra is the bare basic. Phoebe will punch you hard, but also give you a lot of time between disasters. Randy, random, is just completely random. Empress Evil is no good events. Maynard is essentially will restrict our technology research, as we won't be able to go beyond medieval age, and I'm hoping that I should be able to switch back and forth, which will also mean that if I can't use anything beyond the medieval era, I'll have to make a set of medieval age or less weapons to deal with them. I think that also means whenever we get raided, they'll only have bows or melee weapons, which could work into our advantage. The one thing that this does, the one mod that gets around this a little bit is the one that adds in, I think, expanded weapons, where it adds in gunpowder as a technology, and it's a musket and a hand pistol. I think something along those lines. But those are the only two quote-unquote guns that we can get with Maynard, and then Dingo Dyer for kind of those blaze of glory moments. So yeah, each one has their own quirks that we're going to be going through, and to start we're going to be Adventure Mode Cassandra Classic. Oh, whoops. And of course reload at any time, because when you're running a lot of mods, you might have to make a reload. So let's go ahead and go Insanity. We'll go at 50%. Faction control, we have a bunch of different factions. I have it so that the total number of factions to appear on world is 20. And that's to also incorporate for the new ones that got added in. And as we can see, I have 2 Empire factions on the map. And I don't think Rimworld's meant to run with this many factions, but we're gonna go with it. So, without further ado, I will meet you guys once we... I will see you guys once we find a suitable base to put down. Or maybe we might find one right off the bat. Who knows? I want to go with a mountainous setup, a mountainous base this time. Alright, here we go. Wow, that's a massive cluster of them. So essentially these guys are kind of clustered in well with each other. That's 4 different factions clustered up there. Of course, up here we have more sheriffs. Up there we have the outlaws. We have one faction of Empire up there, another faction of Empire down here, the Broken Imperium and the Grey Sovereignty. We have androids here, we have Blue Moon's Corporation there, we have the Insectoid Hive over to there. I think I'd like to settle close to this empire. If we could get trading with this empire, that would be super beneficial. So it's rainforest, this is temperate forest. I think I would be okay with spawning in around here. I want to, yeah, one without caves. Am I okay with having 50 days, or do I want to try to go live? Okay, there we go. Oh, that's it. That's with caves. Caves. Can we maybe get one that doesn't have caves? That one doesn't. That's a little... we might get an event where we can build a road to here. So, okay, we'll go with this. Then, of course, are prepared carefully. Let's see. So, we have Tal'Darim Empire. We're going to keep these guys. However, we're a different faction this time. So... going to go SCV. Instead, we are now Sons of Korhal. Can I fit that all? Yes, I can. We're now part of the Sons of Korhal faction, which is the... and of course, we are the Emperor. I think I spelled that right. We are Emperor Alarak of the Sons of Korhal, not to be confused with Arcturus Mengsk. And who do we want you? You're still the rank of medic, even though you have the worst medic skill possible. And yeah, let's go ahead. And do I want to put any more equipment on here? No. Okay, here's something I could ask myself. Animals. Yeah, something tells me these are only vat grown. And some of these I haven't even seen yet, but a mech thrumbo? It's crazy. That's gonna be interesting. Male grown prince. I wasn't sure that you could get male vat grown princesses. I'm pretty sure the princess implies that they're female. Male mega scarab. Maybe it appears here. Let's see. Male, would it appear as a male warling if they can spawn in? It's a male vat grown, walrus, warg, wild beast, wolf, shrimp. Okay, no. Alright, so I don't think they can spawn in. But anyways, this is okay. No animals to start, like the last time. Have a knife, a revolver, a bolt action, rifle, the flak stuff, the armor, bit of packaged survival meals, some medicine, some basic nano kits. Let's go. Oh, and the other thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to take off a couple of these stuff. So fast walker. Let's see here. Sanguine. I'm actually going to take off a super immune. Instead, we're going to add in the masochist. Oh, there's a morbid? What's morbid? Apparently I can't pick morbid. Oh no, it enables a type of meditation focus. So that was something that I actually discovered last time, is that some of these traits can add in the ability to with a different type of focus. Which I'm wondering if morbid's the only one that it can add in. The other one I wanted to add to kind of balance this out a little bit was transhumanist. There we go. So she's a masochist transhumanist. That works for me. Of course, we have all sorts of different... She comes in with this, the top, no, that's the middle, it's bottom layer clothing, casual t-shirt, Alarax, and a tribal wear, and Robert, of course, he doesn't need anything. Alright, let's go ahead and start. Let's just fix that. Alright, there we go. Oh, that shouldn't be Sons of Korhal. That should be Sons, not Son of Korhal. And yeah, here we go. Let's see what the map is going to be like. So yeah, I think this episode, if you're still watching to this point, then hey, first off, thank you for still watching. But secondly, this is going to be an hour-long special because, well, we kind of spent a long time explaining. So we'll go for an hour, and I'm still going to call this episode 0 though, because we're kind of explaining how everything's going to work. We're getting started, and episode 1 will officially begin next time. Unless, of course, I change my mind later, which is entirely possible. Ah, the classic Rimworld start. Setting down some drop pods. What do we got here? Ooh. This would have been an amazing place to take cover in. Except not really anymore. Well, no. We can make this work. Oh, a lot of silver. By simply making a massive wall up here and digging out a passageway for people to get to go to and from this side. Then that would leave this chunk here. We can then make the start of our kill box around here. I think, yeah, we start the kill box going this way. We have this all sealed up. And we put turrets on the other side so that they're not tempted to... Well, we'd have a wall. We have a space, like a couple spaces for sandbags and trenches. Or no, not sandbag. No, we'd have like trenches so that they'd have to crawl through. Then we have a line of embrasures, a line of turrets, and yeah, I think that would work out pretty well. And as for the ruins, we have an electric loom, a simple research bench, a little bit of steel and wood down here, tortoise, cream carpet. I thought that was a table there. Got some doors there. Kangaroo. I think that's all the. Oh, we also have the anime tree. Nothing up there. Okay. So what about wildlife? We have some man traps down here. as hostiles, so they'll probably kill around. Animus Vox, which surprisingly isn't part of a hostile faction. Most of the time when I see one, they're part of a hostile faction. Yeah, quite a bit of stuff. Quite a bit. Alright, let's get started. Okay, so allow all of these. You need to equip that. You need to equip this. You need to equip that. And let's see here. So we'll need to make our first building area. We'll make it here. We'll start here, and I'll probably end up building a wall right here. And seeing if I can get a big wall here. At least we'll protect ourselves for a while. With the intent to expand up this way and try to capture some more territory. There's a lot of compact machinery here too. So we have a multi-analyzer. Oh, that doesn't have anything good, just some steel. Boo. Shame on whoever started that but didn't finish it. Alright, so let's see here. Alpha biomes. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. This is new. This is very much new. Propane stove. Oh, probably for aero fleets, I imagine. Exotic smelter. Fancy. I really want to get into both of these. We haven't been able to. Most of the time, we die before we can get into that. Oh, I'm hoping not to this time. So, let's see here. Structure. Let's go ahead and get our first set of stuff going. Get this here. Oh, we have a post, saloon door. Nice column there. Then there's a geothermal vent here, so let's... I'll go like that. And then place a door here, and then place one there. That'll give this enough space. We have two geothermal vents here. That's pretty lucky. I'll give it that. Third one, we have 4 geothermal vents. There's the chem fuel, a 5th steam geyser there. Sorry, I meant steam geyser. My apologies if I confused anybody. But no, that jade? That is jade. But no Helixium or Helixian vents. Just a bunch of chem fuel ponds. And just a bunch of that stuff. Let's see here. So architecture orders. Oh, I thought that was a fire. I'm going, why is there a fire up there? Go ahead and go into 2 colonist beds. Yep, we need colonist beds. So once we get the sonic repeller going, then I'll feel like 110% comfortable with digging into the mountains. I will probably dig a massive chunk over here and have it as like our research complex in the entrance around here. So we're going to need to start off with some rooms. Can't make them too big because we don't have a complete open land. Just like that. Check and check. Start off with some nice big rooms. Actually, we'll do it like this. We'll make it a little bit closer up to here, make it a 1 gap. that. And cancel this. It's 9, yep. Make one there. Make it like that. There we go. Just like that. We have the extra bedroom in case we need that sort of stuff. In case we need either a medical, a prison, or we get an extra colonist. Who knows? Anyways, chop wood. Even go ahead and quickly toss both of these into a small research shack. I think I could stack 2 filing cabinets beside it. I think I can. Let's try. We'll stack two of them beside it. And then research. Oh, right, I forgot. I didn't prepare this. So this might take a little bit. I also didn't test it to see if it would work. So that's kind of my bad. That is very much my bad. Alright, come on game. Let's go. Let's go game. Time's a wasting. Okay, good. We're good. We're going. In the future, I'll probably end up cutting out anytime whenever I want to open a research screen, I'll have it done before the episode is when before I start recording. Gotta go to world. I'm gonna go to the research tab as well as the world tab, and that way I get all the waiting time done and over with. But if this takes a while, I'll probably have to default back to. I might default back to Research Pal, which I don't want to because that thing can be confusing. And unlike Research Pal, with Research Tree, I can zoom out and actually see the bigger picture. And specifically, what technologies I might need in order to get where. It's possible that this might not work either. So I might have to accept that. Oh, there we go. Yeah, a lot better than Research Pal is. See, we have a giant overview of everything. You can see all the different tech trees, all the different lines. You have Spacer there. There's Architect all over there, which is Ultra. Well, actually, this gap here is Ultra. We have Architect up here, Spacer, Industrial, Medieval, and Neolithic. So whenever we have Maynard Medieval enabled, will essentially only be limited to the first 2 sections. So it might be imperative, not imperative, but a good idea to research most of those texts, so that way when we have Maynard, we just finish researching the last little bit, and once we've finished all the medieval and Neolithic technologies, we just go ahead and start with use that time to primarily focus on things like construction or doing or maybe we go out and we form a mining colony for a couple episodes. But yeah, pretty cool, eh? Not bad at all. Why would we want to research this when we clearly have the superiority of this? I don't know. Anyways, what do we need? Well, we need geothermal vents, which should be around here somewhere. Air conditioning, canning, water mill generators, which is completely useless to us. Basic electronic, color, military. I passed by this. Where did I pass by it? Gas extraction, water mill, solar panel. Geothermal power. I'm blind. We need that first. We get that, and we'll be good. We'll be good to start getting some power. Go. Start the grind going again. No reason to go to the world. We kind of already explored there. Look, they're having a nice talk. Instead of worrying about poker. Alright, then afterwards we'll need we'll put up a mess area here. Let's see, so this will be our refrigerated place. Temporarily, until we get our sonic repulsor, then we'll start digging into here and officially transitioning everything inside. And by the way, my idea to handle sappers would be to place a line of turrets here and have eventually the kill box like terminate here, and this would be a bit of our outdoors area, and then you get inside to the lab. So that's got to be all one. One thing I should have probably done was build a bed. Build some beds. That's the one thing I need to get working on. So let's go ahead. Furniture. And then for now, we can make this so. Make the zone here a bed. Alright, Robert. By the way, it's good to see that you have both your legs again. I mean, all of your stuff. All of your body parts. That's what I want to say. I need to get you to haul the stuff into here, though. Don't want any animals out here. Just claiming all my stuff. Where are you going? Or are you going to wear the flak vest? That's okay. Okay, and no, you're just going to wear all the flak stuff. And we'll need to soon think about getting some gardens up here. We have a bunch of wild pawns here trapped with us. That's okay. Kind of why we built this big fence. Well, not fence, but this big wall here so that we can... No, I do need to get this, though. And Robert's like, you know what? I want this tribal wear. Happy birthday, Robert! Oh, actually, happy birthday to all my colonists who are apparently all new aged, or different age today. Let's see, so this isn't a big room, so, well, we don't really need that big of a table. Let's go ahead and make a table here, and put up a couple of, oops, I'll cancel that in a second. We'll put that up. Chem lamp can safely be placed outdoors. We have power cables here. Claim all that. For now, place that there. These will eventually be turned back into. We'll turn them into bedrooms as we upgrade our area, essentially. So need that. Architecture zone. Stockpile zone. Storage of foods is not permitted in here, and only the storage of foods. Let's deliver that. Oh, we have ourselves a ship chunk. Cyborg, you are set to research as your top priority. Your top priority is that. Roberts is plant, cut, and grow. Oh, I probably uninstall this so that it doesn't create shorts. We'll have plenty of steel, I hope. Yeah, we gotta bring in the rest of the steel. We'll need to get Robert to do that. Okay, all the steel in. Now we'll need to create some sort of schedule for them. Robert does not need sleep, but he is still allowed recreational time. There we go. And then when we eventually get Psylink parts, we'll then start equipping them to our colonists. But seeing as how Alarak is now Emperor by title, he, of course, he'll need to be, well, we'll need to make him the Emperor. By that, he's going to be, I mean, he'll be our royalty representation. We might even eventually hit whoever whoever decides to end up marrying Alarak will also need to get the royalty treatment as well. Which will probably mean I'm going to end up redesigning this room down here. So it's now 12. So deconstruct. We'll do it like this. That way, when we eventually need to move Alarak into his new bedroom, it'll be right here. We need recreational variety. And do I want to start putting up the first kill box area? Probably. Let's see if I remember how to do this. So security. We can do a couple different things. We could do cavalry spikes, which kind of slow down. A bear trap and spike trap. I think I prefer spike traps. So like that. So then we have it like that. No. I screwed this up. This is how it should be. There we go. So there's a section of walls there. Okay, I don't need to take out the door. I actually don't need this either. The ability to access all the traps there. I need these two mined out. Then we can place doors here, here. Like that. And one there, one, oh. go. Alright, that's a bit better. There we go. Now it's making a little more sense. Just like that. There we go. There's our little kill box. And we need a new door right here. Alright, what's Robert doing? We are going to need some food soon. So, build the roof area like it here. Roof area here. And a roof area there. Is this technically... This is an overhead mountain. Right. Let's just do that. I don't want to risk infestation possibly spawning in there. Need defenses. Need a meal source. There's also, of course, the issue with over here. But one problem at a time. One problem needs to be solved at a time. So let's see, we can deconstruct this and just have an entrance that people can walk out from here. That would work. Alright, how we going, Cyborg? Really use the stuff built up Alarak. Anyways, I should probably get a small growing zone going. And here, we're not going to plant potatoes. Let's go the red beefsteak tomato plant. That proved to work kind of well for us. Let's find them if painful, consuming the mat. Oh, pepper plants. Animals are known to avoid eating them entirely. Oh, okay. That's interesting. There's, of course, is our new mushroom-sized cap there. Have an allspice plant. When grounded finely during cooking, the fruit releases a complex peppery flavor perfect for spicing dishes. I love me some good spices. Shrink the whole zone here and expand this to one there. This one will have this new bulb. Yup, I know. Let's see, like that. There we go. Now we have the two different grow zones. And Alex finally getting to work on these. But yeah, soon overhead mountains will now no longer fear us. We will no longer have to fear them. Triba and Blue Moon Corporation are hostile towards each other. Okay, congratulations. Wild Spawn, please get out of there. Sorry, Wild Spawn. Oh, and the rabbit's also stuck in there too. See, I don't think the rabbit will have the hare will have the sense to try to break out, but I think the wild pawn will. So we'll have geothermal plants. I'll probably want some solar power and some wind turbines. We can take out some of this mountain down here and have a nice dedicated area towards power production as a way to simplify. I don't know what the term is. To provide additional power. I guess that's a better way to phrase it. Alright, excellent. Alarak is building the traps. Okay. Afterwards, I need you to deconstruct that wall so that nobody walks in the middle of all of that through all the traps. The idea is our colonists can safely go through all of these while the enemy cannot. Excuse me. Alright, there we go. Gonna react back socially. We're getting our research game going. And, well, we're doing really well. So far, so well that unfortunately we're going to have to call it an episode here. I will be probably recording episode 2 and 3 right after this. So, yeah. I'll probably end up doing that. But anyways, thank you everybody for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Hit that subscribe button if you really enjoyed. Don't forget to share this video or any of my other videos to anybody who you think will enjoy my content. Next time, well, we're going to same old. Get the power going in the base. Start to build the various different stuff that we need. Hopefully, we'll keep our eyes peeled for a sonic repulsor and dedicate a special room for it and ensure that it receives power around the clock. The only downside would be is if a solar flare happens to take place. But I might be able to keep that powered if I find a Helixian gas geyser inside the mountain here and just use that to keep it powered, which honestly would be a pretty good idea. But anyways, till next time, ladies and gentlemen, take it easy.